Okay, we are good to go. All right, we're live, we're recording, and we're alive.
There.
Whoa. Yikes. This mic has a mind of its own. Sorry about that, y'all. This mic has a mind of its own. All right, first thing we normally do is just a little bit of a mic check, so you can just babble on for a second while chat tells you if we're good or not.
Sounds good. Hopefully things sound good for y'all. I hope.
I think we should be good, but
Sweet.
we are alive, nodders. Yes, we are alive. We're alive today in this beautiful world, and it's a great, beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we are here for yet another podcast. So I hope you guys are ready.
Heck yeah.
This thing turned off on me again.
Oh no.
The Bluetooth device
Is ready to pair. It always does. It always does that when I turn it on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fellow pokeNERDS of the world, welcome to the pokeNERDS Incorporated podcast, the Pokemon exclusive podcast just for us pokeNERDS. Sit down, relax, and get to know other fellow Pokemon content creators in the Pokemon community. I am your host, your man Spence of the Poke Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we have another fire guest on the show. If you don't know who the guest is, let me introduce you to the guest. We got a Shiny Hunter. She's a variety gamer. She has a lot of hats on her wall. And on top of that, if you got any questions about ducks, she is the girl to contact. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the show, KelsDDuckyy.
Thank you, Spence, for having me today.
Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you for taking the time to allow me to pick your brain.
Of course, of course.
What if I already know the guest? Yeah, I'm just saying, I introduced the guest because if people don't know the guest. Because sometimes there are people in my community who don't know the guest. So that's why I introduced the guest, because that way people know who the guest is.
To be fair, that's just my smart aleck boyfriend. Fire School 821 is my boyfriend, aka Tim. So of course he's just gonna be his smart aleck self in the chat a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Fire Skull. Cool name too. But all right, Kels, are you ready to get today rolling?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, so so as we discussed, you actually went and you went over stuff we were going to be talking about. So the first thing we normally do is a basic introduction. Introduce yourself. Give us a retrospective of your Twitch journey and what type of content you actually produce, like between games and styles and whatnot. So, Kels, you got the floor. Let me hear it.
All right. So I pretty much am an exclusive Twitch content creator. I'm not really I do a little bit on other platforms, mostly taking clips from my Twitch and tossing them on Instagram and stuff. Twitch is the main focus for sure. That kind of started honestly after I had a lot of personal changes in my life. I had recently ended a long-term relationship and was trying to kind of find myself a little bit, get back on my groove after that relationship. And I've always been close with Dragon Tamer Tom. I know a very good friend of both of our channels and communities.
The CRO, pokeNERDS Inc.
Yes, exactly. One of my mods as well. And I just kind of offhanded made a comment one day of oh, it'd be fun to stream sometime with not really any consideration into it. And Tom was like, you should do it. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, you should do it. So I was like, all right. So I around Christmas, actually no, Black Friday, I think that fall of 2023. Is 2023? 2022. No, it's 2022. I get my timelines mixed up, especially with all the COVID stuff. Time blends together. But I bought a capture card on a Black Friday deal as a early Christmas gift to myself and all that, and hooked it all up and was like, ooh, I actually have something to stand on to stream. I can stream anything I'm playing Pokemon wise. And so I was like, screw it. Let's just do it for funsies, see how this all goes. And it's kind of been history from there. I've been streaming a lot of Pokemon, a good amount of variety stuff, not just Nintendo titles, but some Genshin. I've dabbled a little bit in some of the Pokemon games, my Sims games, and stuff like that, and try to keep it kind of comfy and cozy.
That's a good origin story right there.
Thank you.
It's also nice to know that we have somebody who actually started streaming thanks to a fellow guest we've had on the show. So it's like it comes full circle, you know. PokeNerd leads to PokeNerd, which leads me to this PokeNerd.
Yep.
Don't forget the first raid you got too, Kels. What do you mean the first raid?
Oh yeah, on my first ever stream, I didn't even set up any of my mods or anything because I'm like, it's the first stream. It's just a test stream more than anything type of thing. And I remember, no, you can take credit, Tom. Sorry, I'm reading the chat.
Go ahead.
And I remember Tom being like, Kels, make me a mod. I'm like, all right, sure. Like, I'm not gonna question that. It's Tom. Like, I don't have any doubts about Tom. And then within like 5 or 10 minutes after that, Turbo actually raided me. And so my first ever stream, our good friend, rest in peace, Turbo actually raided on my first stream. So
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Turbo, we miss you, man.
Yep.
You guys do realize why I still wear this bow tie every podcast now, right? You do realize that?
Mhm.
All because of Turbo.
Got
We
it.
love you, brother. We love you, brother. We always carry on this podcast in your name, man. I always do that. But hey, for those of y'all from the Kels side of the planet who don't know who I am, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Spence. This is the Poké Network. I like to say the Poké Network because it is the. I am a variety Pokemon streamer specializing in shiny hunting and Nuzlocke, and from time to time I will dabble in Hades. But who's Turbo? Ryu Spirit. Turbo is a very, very, very dear friend of ours who passed away too early, who was an amazing content creator and also had one of the biggest hearts of anybody that I had ever met on not only on this platform but also in life. Super, absolutely amazing, genuine human being, and we all miss him so much.
Turbo was also one of those people that definitely proved that whatever obstacles are in your path doesn't mean you can't do something if you put your mind to it. Turbo had his own struggles with things, um, and he showed that streaming can still be possible even with those struggles in life. So,
Yep, couldn't have said it better.
thank you.
But where my origin story lies in, it kind of like starts off in like you know, when I was a teenager and I watched a crap load of Pokemon YouTubers from A Drive all the way to Patters. It inspired me to want to do stuff like this. So, you know, I started shiny hunting in the Sun and Moon era, so in 2016. And then I started doing Nuzlocke about a year later. And then I'm like, I have these amazing experiences that I have, but I can't share them. And I want to share them. So around 2019, I decided to actually reach out to M&J TV. He's like, in my opinion, the best Pokemon YouTuber on the planet because I've been watching his content pretty much since I was in high school. But I emailed him asking him for advice on what to do to get started because I didn't know who to talk to about this kind of stuff, and he actually responded. Super genuine. And you know, I took that advice, and I didn't actually start till about a year later until, you know, the pandemic hit and I got some extra money from the government. So I poured that money into my first startup PC, and for the first 6 months of my journey, I didn't really know what the hell I was doing because I didn't know how to integrate on social media. I wasn't building a community of sorts. I mean, I was getting people in chat, but I wasn't like building a community. It wasn't until about January 2021 when I finally got affiliated and then I finally started realizing what the hell I was doing, and it all just snowballed from there. All the Nuzlocke I did, all the shiny hunting, the 2-year Darkrai hunt, it just all led to this point in time as to where I am right now.
I love that.
As the old saying goes, everyone's journey is different, and sometimes it's a slow build up and then a boom, or sometimes you're just bang right out of the gate. It's just like, I don't know how to put it.
Exactly. Everyone is meant to take the journey in their own path. No two paths are alike.
Again, couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, so tell me, where the heck did the name KelsDDuckyy come from? I'm very curious.
It's funny because, like, as to when exactly, I can't pinpoint exactly when I switched to KelsDDuckyy because I used to go by Verde Sandy many moons ago. Like, there's not even any platforms I'm Verde Sandy on anymore. That was because, like, childhood Kelsey was obsessed with Webkins, and those were the names of my first two Webkins. But for KelsDDuckyy, the more important one, and my current screen name as of today, I'm Kelsey, so a lot of times people would nickname me Kels or Kels, that kind of thing. So hence that first part of my name. Um, D is actually the initial of my middle name. Um, Starts with a D. So I was like, all right, Kels, D, like middle initial, and I've always been obsessed with ducks. So Ducky is where the last part comes in. So it's like kind of not only that, like, taking my name and putting it into a screen name, but it's also like a little play on words because it's like not Kels the Ducky, Kels D Ducky, and it's like a little bit different. And yeah, I don't know how I came up with it. It just kind of, I remember coming up with it one day, and then it's kind of been the same ever since. So
You were kind of in the same boat I was in because when I started my journey, I didn't go by. I was thinking about going as the PokeNetwork, but I didn't start with the. I started with something else. I believe I don't know if you know the whole origin, but I'm like PokeNetwork is a fever child name that comes from, you know, Poke as in Pokemon, because I wanted people to identify me as like a Pokemon related content creator, and network comes from my college days because when I was going through college, I was going for business administration, and I cannot recall how many like group projects I did over the course of my curriculum. And I'm like, man, I'm doing so many projects. It's like it's a whole network of people, huh? Network, PokeNetwork, rolls off the tongue, feels nice, feels affiliate. So I went and typed into Twitch, taken. So what am I to do? Like I said, I thought the was going to be too generic, and I wanted to be unique, so I put an S in the front of my name because S is just my first initial, because my legal name is Spencer. So I went by S PokeNetwork. But here's the problem: Twitch doesn't allow you to use hyphens, and I hate using underscores. So when you put the S and the P in my name right next to each other on Twitch, I cannot tell you how many times my name got mispronounced or misinterpreted or anything else. It just like I couldn't like I've been called everything from S Pokey to Spoken. It was terrible for years. I was like, I'm so done with this. So at the beginning of 2023 is when I started doing this podcast. Is then when I finally, it was like, I'm done. I got rebranded as the PokeNetwork, and it's been a great positive change ever since, and I don't plan on going back.
that is entirely fair. Do you know if anyone has or actively uses PokeNetwork, your original idea for a username, or nah?
I believe it's still preoccupied by an inactive account, so I think the only way for me to obtain the PokeNetwork tag is to become partner and then like say to Twitch, hey, this account's inactive, I want its username, or I don't know how it works like that, but I'm fine staying as the PokeNetwork because I like how it rolls off the tongue. The PokeNetwork, so I'm the one.
Yeah, why change it now?
Yeah, why change it now? Okay, so it's quite obvious what. All right, actually, hold on. Let's move on to what actually makes you the PokeNerd you are. So, it's quite obvious what your favorite Pokemon is, but answer me this: out of all the duck-themed Pokemon there are in the Pokemon world, why is Psyduck the one that takes your heart?
Well, Psyduck's the first. I mean, he's part of the original 151. But I think also for me, there's like two early Psyduck exposures in my cobwebs of my brain that I can remember that kind of made me like fall in love with Psyduck. Um, First off, I think one of the first ever Pokemon cards I actually remember looking at was the Delta species Psyduck from, oh gosh, I don't remember which set it was. It might have been Holland Phantoms, maybe? It was one of those Delta species sets where it's the electric type Psyduck. I was like, that art looks really cool. That Pokemon looks cool. And funny enough, that actual very first card that I saw it, I actually own it. And like not just like another copy of it, but like the first card. I got that person to trade it to me, and I have it graded and everything. It's only like a 6, but anyways, there's that. And then the other thing is I remember back in middle school when I got into Pokemon, watching the anime and deciding, all right, I'm going to watch the original anime because, like, why start somewhere in the middle? Let's start with the OG stuff. And as much hate as Psyduck got from Misty, I loved him because of that. He's got such a derpy personality, such a, like, go with the flow, like, always doing something comical. I'm like, I love this guy. I need to take him under my wing and love him and cherish him because Misty isn't.
Well, I think Misty loves Psyduck, but in her own unique way. I mean, come on. She loves water types, but why? I get why she would not like Psyduck at first, but I think as the years went on, Psyduck eventually, grew on her in her own unique way.
Yeah, it was definitely that weird, like, tough love kind of scenario with Misty and Psyduck.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, I think you and I got something in common because we wear our favorite Pokemon like we're on our sleeves. We're basically, it's pretty much out in the open. But I think I took it a step further and I literally put my favorite Pokemon on my sleeve.
I love that.
Yeah,
I would never have the bravery for that, but I love it.
I love showing this tattoo off. It's not done yet, but I love showing it off. For those of y'all that don't know, my favorite Pokemon is Obstagoon. The best Gen 8 Dark type. There's a variety of reasons why Obstagoon is my favorite. But when Galarian forms were formally announced, I was like, oh cool, we get new Pokemon forms. Galarian, Zigzagoon, and Linoon were just like, oh cool, they're Dark types now. And I don't know why they're still Normal type, but okay, whatever. Then all of a sudden, this thing evolves into Obstagoon. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, holy shit, what is this? And I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. It jumped into my top 10 based on looks alone. And like, I loved it so much on looks. And then when Sword and Shield finally came about, my very first playthrough of Sword, I used it on my first team, and it doesn't matter if you do a Reckless set or a Guts set, this thing is an abomination. But I prefer a Guts set because Flame or Facade, whew, you are in for trouble.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, I finally got one, and then I started shiny hunting a bunch of them. Fun fact, my very first rare marked shiny was a shiny Galarian Zigzagoon.
Nice!
Yeah, I love it shiny, but the reason why it toppled into my favorite list is because when I started want to start this whole channel, I was like, I need a Pokemon mascot. I feel like everyone has a Pokemon mascot. I needed one, and I knew for a while that Patters was using Darkrai as like a co-mascot, and I'm like, no, I don't want to copy. I don't feel like I'm copying anyone. I don't want to be known as like the Darkrai. I don't want to be known as like that Darkrai guy that's copying Patters. So I looked around. Nobody was using Obstagoon, so I went with Obstagoon, and I'm pretty much now known as like the Obstagoon guy. Because like pretty much everything related to me is Obstagoon themed. I mean, I'm like my attire is black and gray with red sunglass lenses. Freaking I love rock and roll. It's just like, oh man, there's so many things about this Pokemon that I love. I could go for hours about it, but I only got a few minutes, so it's like I'll dumb it down into a very short list, and that's pretty much the list.
There you go. I love it.
Oh, God. All right. So, what about your favorite shiny Pokemon?
Oh, that one was tough. I'll admit, trying to like think of like what favorite, because there's not. I love so many of them because like they're different. A lot of them have really unique color schemes and stuff. I'm like, what should I pick? Because I'm not gonna pick Psyduck again. Because obviously, like I pick Psyduck for anything and everything. But I'm like, all right, think outside the box, Kels. And I stopped and thought about it. I'm like, what was like one of the first shinies I actually tried to hunt? Not accidentally, but tried. And I'm like, Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo was one of my first that I actually tried and aimed to hunt. So I'm like, I think that one has definitely a little bit of a soft spot in my heart, a little bit. Because once I figured out that in Sword you can do like the encounters where you battle so many of them in a row and like up your shiny chances, I'm like, let's go for that. Let's just try. Let's see if I can find a shiny doing that. And I was like, all right, Pumpkaboo, let's try that. Not knowing, well, kind of knowing what it looked like shiny, but I was like, it's just the first one I see. I'm just going to go for it. And then sure enough, I found it and I'm like, it's cute. It's purple. It's tiny. It's adorable. I'm like, I love this thing. It's just cute.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started shiny hunting, the first shiny that I hunted for purposely and got was a shiny Grubbin, and of course for Vikavolt. And not only is Vikavolt one of my favorite Pokemon, it's like in my Pokemon shiny top 5 list, it's number 3.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, it just kind of just reminds people like you know, I like those stories where people like get affiliation with a certain shiny or a certain Pokemon after doing something for it. So it's like man, it's like these stories are around the world. I just gotta find them, and I like finding them.
Yeah.
Well, before Gen 6, I would have told you that my favorite shiny is Rayquaza because it's my favorite legendary and it's my, you know, it's you know, a big black dragon. I'm like, come on, how can I not complain about this? But one shiny has definitely taken my heart since Gen 6, and that is shiny Greninja.
Ooh, that's a solid choice.
Yeah, black, red, gray. It's just the perfect mix. Like it's like I love shinies that make sense, and Greninja shiny is perfection because it's a ninja. Its entire goes from blue to black, so it makes sense. Especially even the tongue going red makes sense because ninjas are really associated with the red and black color schemes. I love, like I said, I love shinies that make sense. Like I love like one of the reasons I love shiny Sandygast is because there are black sand beaches, so it's a black sand castle. So those kind of shinies, you know, I mean, I get brought up a black shiny, but come on, I love black. Can you blame me?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good shiny for sure. It's definitely not like the ones where like there's so many of them that are randomly pink for like no reason, randomly like green for no reason. That kind of thing.
Yeah, like people hate shiny Dragonite for that reason, but I've grown a lot more closer to it over the last few years because during the Nomi and Nerd Out 151 shiny challenge, I found the Dragonite for that challenge. So it's like, yay!
There you go.
Yeah. All right, so what about your favorite type of Pokemon?
So it's not water type. Like people might think water type because again, Psyduck, because I'm obsessed with Psyduck.
I wasn't
But
going
no,
to assume it until you said something.
well, I'm glad. I would go for grass types. I feel like they can sometimes be underrated, not by everybody, but by some people. They're like I feel like when it comes to like the starters, a lot of people go for the water or the fire types just because like they seem more powerful stat wise, or they look cooler. They seem like tougher, and I'm like, but the grass types are cool too. I'm not one who's like, oh, I gotta look at all the stats of all the Pokemon and only pick my team based off of this stat, that stat, this stat. I'm like, yeah, obviously, in order to beat the game, you gotta take some of that stuff into consideration. But first, I'm like, what does it look like? Is it kind of adorable? Is it like is it, I don't know, just like, does it look, is it one of those things like, I don't know, it just more looks are more of a thing for me than necessarily the full like manpower of a Pokemon, and grass types for me kind of fit that bill a lot better. Um, I've always like picked the grass type starters for pretty much every playthrough. So
Well, a lot of people don't like to pick the grass stars because a lot of grass stars don't have as much versatility as like the fire and the water types do.
Mm.
And also the grass type Pokemon is like tied for the most natural weaknesses of any Pokemon type besides rock. So people don't like to go towards that because it's weird and more types. But I will say that if I ever play a Gen 1 game, I'm always picking Venusaur. If I'm playing a Gen 3 game, I'll occasionally go with Sceptile. If I'm playing a Gen 6, 7, if I'm playing a Gen 7 game, I'll normally go with either Incineroar or Decidueye. And if I'm going to play in a Gen 9, I'm using either Skeledirge or Meowscarada. So I've used more grass types over the years.
There you go. Love that. Grass type live.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't top my favorite type, which is dark,
Naturally.
as quite obvious. Incoming. I think I know what's about to happen, so I'm not going to be surprised.
I think so as well.
Yep, there it goes. Totally not surprised.
Okay.
We got the Gibble Gang here. Totally not surprised.
No, not at all.
Tom.
Hello, Gibble Gang.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Did you find Littlefoot?
I know, he's been hunting that for a few weeks now. More than probably a few weeks. I forget how long, but good amount of time so far.
Yeah, a little bit of time. No Littlefoot. Oh man.
No, rip.
Aw, poo. Yeah, you'll get it soon, Tom. You'll get it soon. But welcome, Gibble Gang. Welcome to the podcast, the pokeNERDS Inc. podcast, to be precise. I'm the host, Spence, from the Poké Network. We have KelsDDuckyy in the hot seat. Please enjoy the show. Well, sit back, relax, get a bag of popcorn, get some chips, get a snack, go to the bathroom, do what you need to do, have some fun. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, dark type, my favorite type. So, aesthetics-wise, dark types are my favorite type. Why they're my favorites? I won't sugarcoat my past. I have been through some traumatic shit, and I feel more atone or at home with dark type Pokemon because they get a bad rep and they're always misunderstood and they always have a lot of problems. So dark types just naturally just clicked with me, and I feel a lot more at home with them. And pretty much since Generation 5, I've used a dark type on my team in every playthrough I've ever done. In Gen 5, I used a Crocodile. In Gen 6, I used Greninja. Gen 7, I used Incineroar. And Gen 8, I used Obstagoon, Grimmsnarl. Gen 9, Meowscarada, King Gambit, Bombardier, just various dark Pokemon that I've used in my various playthroughs. Plus, I do a whole a whole Nuzlocke series where I shiny hunt every single. I do a Nuzlocke series where I'm going into every Pokemon game and Nuzlocking every single one of them with dark types only. Which, by the way, guys, I do intend to do the Soul Silver Dark Lock soon. It just depends on when and where. But yeah, plus all my top 5 favorite Pokemon are also dark types. Obstagoon, Greninja, Darkrai, Hydreigon, Umbreon. I'm just a dark type baby.
It makes sense. I love that.
Okay, super hard question. What is your favorite Pokemon game? And if you have a favorite spin-off game, list that as well.
Okay. So favorite main game I would have to say is Black 2. Well, Black 2 / White 2, but I played Black 2.
Yes!
I was a late bloomer coming into the Pokemon scene. My first game I didn't start until I was in middle school, and it was Black 2. I took my Christmas money, went down to GameStop, and it was the first game that I picked up, and I was like, all right. Of course, like, yeah, internet was around and stuff like that, but I didn't know, like, / think to be like, all right, let's look up the how-to guide on how to play this, or, like, when I got stuck, I didn't think, all right, to the internet, like, I played it all on my own and stuff like that, and it was fun because it was, like, the first and only game that I went into completely blind of not knowing like what mons are in it, what's coming up. Like it was all brand new, brand spanking new to me. And I can never really live that because unless I hide under a rock for the rest of my life, every time a Pokemon game comes out, I'll never go into it super blind like I did that time.
I've pretty much got Gen 5. I pretty much went in blind for especially Pokemon White. Like it took me forever to get past this stupid Hydreigon. But anyway, but yeah. What about a spin-off game?
Oh right, spin-off. I would say on that one, Mystery Dungeon. Admittedly, the first time I ever played a Mystery Dungeon game, I got stuck and was like, screw this, I never want to play this game again, because I had played that before Black 2. As I, being so newbie to Pokemon, didn't realize that like those games were tougher, like if you didn't know Pokemon, than like a seasoned Pokemon player who knows how typings work and the attacks work, status moves versus physical moves, and all that stuff. So like going into it, the first time I ever played, I was like, this is awful. I don't like this. I'm stuck. Never playing it again. After I got more well versed with it, I picked it back up and played multiple versions now. I'm actually playing through the Switch version on my channel, and I love it. It's like, yeah, there's tricky parts to it, but it's fun because like no matter when you go into a dungeon, you just never know what it's going to be there. It's different every time, and it's not that. I like the lack of predictability in that game.
Fair enough. I played the only Mystery Dungeon game I played was Super Mystery Dungeon back on the DS, and I thought it was a pretty cool game.
Mm-hmm. It's a funky scenario where it's like, oh, you're a human and you're a Pokemon. I'm like, all right, different, but let's go with it.
I wouldn't mind being a Pokemon if I was a Dark type.
Yeah.
Actually, as long as I'm not as long as I'm not two specific Dark types, I'm fine with being any other Dark type. But I would love to be an Obstagoon.
Yeah. I think the first one I played, when they have you do that personality test, it like paired me up as being a Turtwig or something.
I got Totodile.
Types. Ooh, nice.
I got Totodile. Tom, don't make me kick you to the moon. But anyway, just like you, Black 2 and White 2 are my favorite games by far. They have the best written story of any main series game tenfold. No other game has come close to it. There's a bar that it's set, and no other Pokemon game has been able to reach that bar. I loved the whole versatile Pokemon diversity because the first Gen 5 games there was only the Gen 5 Pokemon in there, but then they brought in older Pokemon. I'm like, yes, I can mix my teams. I can't tell you how many times I used a Lucario in a playthrough of Black 2 and White 2 because like you get it so early. It's like, yes. Oh man,
sure
it's
he was on my team too when I first played through it.
It was so good. It was so good. Then on top of that, in my professional opinion, Hugh is the best rival of any main series game for a few reasons. One, he's not in this for fame and glory. He's in this to rescue his sister's purloin. And secondly, every time he battles you, he's not trying to battle you to get the upper hand on you or, like for Zed, for fame and glory. He's testing you to make sure that you are strong enough to partake in his cause. So, plus every time he goes to your Team Plus, he wants to kick their ass, and I love it.
Yeah.
And plus, Gen 5 was like the first game, Gen 5 was the first game that I found a shiny in. First time I ever found a shiny was when I played Leaf Green for the first time, and I got a shiny Hoppip in Sevi Islands, and I finally later got shiny Sandile in White.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. But spinoff, XD Gale of Darkness. Love God.
I kind of forget that one exists until people bring it up again, but it's so good.
Yeah, I knew a little bit about Gale of Darkness before I played it for the first time on stream, and one of my clips will actually feature something about XD that I'm probably gonna laugh about again. But yeah, just like the game is so cool. The double battle mechanics, the stealing shadow Pokemon. Like, I pretty much used a bare basic XD team when I first got it, or when I first played it. So oh, and like I got so pissed off because I thought I didn't know how to speed up the emulator until like way late in the game, and I'm like, son of a bitch! I spent so much time grinding in this stinking game when I could have sped it up. Oh God, why?
Go figure.
As the old saying goes, you live and learn. Oh Lord. Alright, so let's move on from love to hate. Let's see what Kels hates about Pokemon. So, Kels, what is your least favorite Pokemon and why?
This was another tough one because, like, off the top of my head, I can't be like, oh, bam, it's this one. I totally despise it. I like was thinking, and I'm like, I think if I had to pick one, even though not one stands out, I'd go with Crabrawler. Super random one. I mean, I'll admit, Gen 7, the Alola region was my least favorite region. No offense to the Alola lovers, but um, it's a misleading Pokemon. I keep thinking in my head it's a water type because it's a crab and it's a fighting type and it's got the beady little eyes that kind of creep me out a little bit. And I'm like, why does this Pokemon exist? I don't know. I've never used it. I've never really liked it. So if I had to say one that I hate, it's definitely Crabrawler.
Okay, that's another first. I don't.
Sorry if there's anyone out there who loves Crabrawler, by the way.
I mean, I don't normally love or hate it, but it's a new Pokemon that I got a shiny hunt now. I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually doing a series where I'm shiny hunting the least favorite Pokemon of my podcast guests.
Oh, yeah. I've watched some of those streams.
Yeah. So expect a Crabrawler with your name on it, literally, in the future.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, well, Tom pretty much said it earlier, but Alolan Persian, I hate that thing with a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that the Dark type can't save it, I hate it so much.
It's got a very big pudgy face too that I'm not super behind.
It's not just the face. It's like the sheer fact, like it's a slap in the face to anyone who's a fan of Dark types, because like before Piers and Marnie were introduced, and we finally, after almost 20 fucking years, got a Dark type gym. The closest thing that we had to a gym was Nanu, the Kahuna of Ula Ula Island. And of course, his ace is that stupid cat.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, the fact that cat was his ace just really pissed me off, because there was a low abundance of Dark type Pokemon in Alola. I know he couldn't use Incineroar, but he could have used Alolan Muck, because Alolan Muck is a tenfold better Pokemon than Alolan Persian. But yeah, just that and someone that I used to know made me shiny hunt the damn thing, and I was like, ugh. But 192 eggs later, bam, I finally got that thing, and it was the worst 4 hours of my life.
At least it was only 192 eggs.
Yeah, well, people love to screw with me because they frickin' subscribe to an account called Alolan Persian.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, time. But yeah, that's my least favorite.
Respect.
All right, so what about your least favorite shiny Pokemon?
Oh, okay. This one I easily know off the top of my head, and this is only because of the struggle bus I went through to get this shiny Pokemon. I'm sure at least a good chunk of the chat already knows what I'm about to say, and that would be Choodle. It's a solid color and everything, but the fact that little turtle was evil, yeah, Tom, Choodle, was evil and took me almost, I think, 1,700 eggs to get the darn thing with, mind you, I was Masuda methoding and Shiny Charm on that game, and it still didn't shine for me. Like, I think I stopped counting after, like, 1,600 eggs or something like that. And like it got to the point where I stopped actively hunting it and just like casually did it. And I finally did get it while waiting in line to get my badge at a convention. um and it still so it eventually shined, but because of the torment and torture it put me through, I'm like, no, I'm good. Bye, buddy. You're still here. You're in my boxes, but I'm never gonna use you for anything or touch you ever again.
Well, to be fair, I shiny hunted. You know, I shiny hunted Darkrai for nearly 2 years. It's sitting in my Scarlet. It's sitting in my Scarlet file, and I haven't touched it in a long time. So it's like, yeah.
That is fair. Yeah, you went through a lot for that one.
Yeah, but yeah. These are the types of stories. Speaking of the devil, there's the clip. But anyway, that's what those are the kind of stories I like to hear, because like a lot of people like to say the very non-noticeable shinies is the least favorite, but it's nice to hear a story about a shiny that gave you trouble that you hate because of it.
Yeah.
My least favorite, you may know, but I'll give you a hint. Anyone?
I don't remember. I probably knew at one point, but I forget.
Charcadet, Armarouge, Ceruledge.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. They dropped the ball big time. They dropped the ball. The fact that the only thing that changes is the eyes, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? These two are some of the most anticipated, coolest Gen 9 Pokemon we got. And frickin', when you shiny hunt the damn thing, all that changes is the eye color, and I'm like, what the fuck were they thinking? Ugh. I've said it before. I've said it again. I've said it. Let's see. This is season 4. This is the 37th time I have said this. All they had to do, actually, yeah, no, I know, this is the 36th time. This is the 36th time. All I've had to do is say, all they had to do was change a Charcadet to a burnt out charcoal gray color, and then swap the color schemes Armarouge and Ceruledge. They would have been some of the best damn shinies in the game. But no, no. All we get are those stupid eye color swaps, and it's literally just this. Like, people say this is the shiny version of me because I don't have my sunglasses on. This is the standard me. So that's the only difference, and I hate it so much.
That's fair. Honestly, that's valid.
Before, if I started this podcast series before Gen 9, I would have said Regice, because of how stupid the hunt was for me, because I kept having to freaking go through the animation sequence just to make sure that I didn't miss the sparkles. But nope. Those boys dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. All right. What about your least favorite type? What type of Pokemon like grinds your gears?
Speaking of gears, I would say Steel, not because I don't know, just Steel has been one of those types that's never really impressed me. There's never really been a Steel type that stood out to me that's like, oh my gosh, this is the best Pokemon ever. All of the Steel type Pokemon seem kind of subpar to me. And I mean, obviously there's gonna be some types out there that have a lot of resistances, but because it has a lot of resistances as well, it's kind of like, eh. I kind of am like, Steels are black to me. For a lack of better wording.
I mean, Lucario's a Steel type. Doesn't that one catch the eye?
Well, yeah, but when I'm thinking of pure Steel or Steel is the primary, when I think of Lucario, I think fighting type. Yes, he's a Steel type as well, but my brain primarily connects him with the fighting type.
Fine. Fair point. Same as me. Sorry, all you Metagross lovers out there.
Yeah, I don't hate Metagross, but Metagross is definitely not one of my favorites. It's not one of those standout, oh my gosh, I love Metagross. No.
Yeah, I more associate Metagross with the Psychic type. Even though it's a giant block of steel, I associate it more with Psychic type.
That's fair.
This should come as no surprise, but I don't like fairy types.
They don't go too well with your dark types.
Yeah, dark types didn't need to be nerfed. They didn't need a nerf. They didn't, but they nerfed it anyway. And on top of that, just like there's a bunch of fairy type Pokemon that don't either need to exist or make sense. Because plus I just hate how much love it got in the generation it was introduced. Like for example, when the dark types introduced, so when Steel and Dark were introduced in the same gen, in Steel we got a gym. Dark type we got Pseudo and Elite Four member. So cool point. Let's see how much love did fairy types get? How much? Fairy types got a gym. They got the star mega of the Elite Four of Diantha's team, a legendary. That's the box cover. Various old Pokemon getting reintroduced as fairy types. See how much love they gave it? See how much love they gave it? And plus being the first Pokemon type that's not Dragon or Ice to be super effective against them. The perfect dragon killer are fairy types. It totally just wasted like all the potential it takes to like people usually use ice types to help counteract dragon, but now like they grab a cute little fairy because that's what happens. I just don't like it. Don't like it. I mean, there are fairy types that I like, but none of them are in my top 10.
That's fair.
All right. What would you say is your least favorite Pokemon game?
This one, I would go for, I mean, Gen 7, Alola was definitely my least favorite region, but of the Gen 7 games, I'd say Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because, like, as much as the original Sun and Moon weren't my favorite games, and I wasn't super into the story, I still did enjoy playing them. But when it came to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, rather than them... Oh, are we frozen? Oh, no. Sorry, I was just making sure that you weren't frozen.
I'm a little bit baffled here because the Ultra copies are supposed to be the more advanced, better copies. Why do you hate the advanced copies?
See, for me, it was because there was some new stuff to it, but a lot of it was the same. It was like, I guess my also thought was, because by the time Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had come out, I was enough into Pokemon that I had gone back and played like Black and White, even though I played Black 2 and White 2 before Black and White, and I was like, oh, like Black 2, White 2 it's the same region, but it's a whole new story. And like we started at a different point in the region versus in the originals. This was like they copied and pasted it and added some other things into the story, and I was like, this is not, yeah, it's cool, but not at what I was hoping it would be. And because Black 2 and White 2 set that standard for what as like second like a sequel / additional version of a game was. Like, I only finished Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was because Let's Go was coming out, and I felt like I would be a terrible Pokemon fan if I didn't finish the game I started before the new game came out.
Fair enough, I would say that. I actually, like, between the Gen 7 games, I would say that I would enjoy and play the Ultra games above the originals, because honestly, if you want to play the originals just for the battle against Lusamine, good for you, but come on. Ultra Necrozma, a much better challenge, more Pokemon. Like, there's so much more to the Ultra games than the originals have to offer. That's just the kind of way I view it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I totally understand you on that front. Kind of like a copy and paste deal. I do agree with you on those fronts, but I don't let those like if I did put that into perspective, I would say that the OG Sun and Moon would be my least favorite. But as of this point, X and Y take the cake for my least favorite games.
Oh, see that I'll admit that would be my runner-up after Black 2, White 2.
Yeah, just like the Sun and Moon games, in my opinion, like just really like it was like it just started a downgrade in Pokemon quality, to be honest, because it was the first game that really started the whole Pokemon hand holding process, because one, the EXP share was now an all around item that isn't built in, but you could turn it off. It was just super easy. Like Mega Evolution was like the main focus of the series, but or the games, but like no one used megas. It's like, come on, you only like had to fight a Mega Evolved Pokemon 3 times if you don't like go do any post game shenanigans. So it's like, I mean, it's like, come on. Like I mean, like every Kahuna and geez, what were the the island captains and the Kahunas all had Z moves, but
Right.
the gyms past gen, the third one didn't have any megas. It's like, come on, what are we doing?
That's fair. I get that.
Yeah, just super easy. Plus, there was so much of the game that like could have been more exploratory, but we couldn't get it. And it's just like like if I didn't have so much disdain for Gen 6 or the Gen 6 games, BDSP would probably take the mantle for me. There's a lot I can say about BDSP. There's a lot I can say about it. Okay, so let's dive deep into the past. And what's one thing you like your very first memory of Pokemon? Like where did you first get introduced to Pokemon as a whole?
So for that, I would say, because there's not really like a specific moment I remember of being like, oh my gosh, what's this Pokemon thing? It was more of like little exposures for a few years that I finally was like, all right, you got me, you got me sold. And that was like all throughout middle school. I had a childhood friend growing up who had a DS and she would play some of the Pokemon games. So I'd watch her play Diamond and Pearl and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh, this looks like a cute game," but not really like seeing myself playing it yet. Um she had some of the Pokemon cards and I was like, "Oh, those are so cute. I love those." And like I kind of want to start collecting those. And actually, her Psyduck is the card I alluded to earlier in our discussion that I have graded. She was the one who traded it to me when I first started collecting, and I kind of convinced her. I was like, "Ooh, what can I give you for that Psyduck there?" And so, like, because of watching like her have the cards, I bought my own cards and started collecting. Um, Watching her play the games, I was like, I want to buy the games now and start playing. And like before I knew it, it was like then I was watching the anime, and I'm like constantly like Pokemon's always in my DS, and I'm always like looking through my cards, reorganizing my cards in some way, or watching the anime, and ever since I've been just obsessed.
It's always the little details that get you hooked, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're starting to do all this for as a standpoint as an adult.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon's not just for kids.
No, sir, not at all.
No, it is not. First thing that comes to mind when I think about Pokemon is the anime. When I first watched a 3-episode VHS tape of Pokemon, Pokemon Shipwrecked, the Isle of the Giant Pokemon, and Tentacool and Tentacruel. Which, fun fact, for those of you that don't know this, that is actually a banned episode in the United States.
Yep.
But I just really, like, it was my very first, like, cartoon slash anime experience, and I'm like, wow, this is something that's really cool. It mesmerized me as a kid. And then I started looking at cards and learning about them, and I'm like, oh, these are really cool. Still don't know how to play the game, but I just found the cards to be extremely fascinating. And then I started playing the games. First Pokemon game I ever played was Sapphire, and ever first Pokemon games I started completed was Leaf Green when I was like 10 or 11. Well, 9 going on 10, and like it was just so it just snowballed from there because I've played every game since. I've gone back and played older games. It just like that's how it all began for me. These small hours. You good?
I'm good. Yeah. Are we?
I thought you couldn't hear. I thought you couldn't hear me there for a moment.
No, I could. You're good.
Okay. The next portion is emote elaborations. So go ahead and share some of your Pokemon themed emotes and give us a little bit of backstory as to why they're a thing.
I don't have like a ton of like Pokemon ones specifically. Oh, there's mine. I'll toss all the ones I have though, including my little ducky ones. So I've got my generic ducks those I found on Etsy as a pack. I just was like, I need something to get started when I first started streaming. So I found all those cutesy little ducky emotes.
Oh,
What
whoops.
happened?
Whoops! Actually,
Oh, okay.
I was sorry. I was gonna click on the emo and I accidentally deleted your message. Oops.
Oh, no worries.
Could you do that? Sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
I'll toss them back in.
Yeah, do that
No worries.
again. My bad.
You're good. Did I click on all of them? Yes, I did. Okay. Making sure I got them all. And Tom, hashtag don't blame Kels, please and thank you. But yeah, so I've got those ones. My Pokemon related ones though, I've got like my shiny Psyduck, shiny Ducklet, and shiny Quaxley. Those are fun. Those are actually a freebie I found through Duck TV. They put it up as a freebie on their Ko-Fi shop, and of course I'm like, duck themes and shinies, heck yeah, I'm in. But I'd say my favorite one is actually our most recent one, the KelsDDuckyy of that fun little looking Psyduck. The Tom, yes. Our lovely friend Tom drew that during one of his recent streams. And just like I don't even remember how it came about. If I was like, "Yo, can I use that as an emote?" or he offered it as an emote. But either way, I got permission, so now it's one of our emotes because it's got
Nice.
character. I love it.
Nice.
I want to get more emotes at some point, but part of me is like also like not wanting to. It's not that I don't want to commission people to get them. It's just that like financially, I got like other stuff going on that like I don't really always have the money to do it. So I just kind of stick with what I got and grab freebies here and there and build my emotes up that way.
Yeah, I hear you there. I still need to get emotes made to honor my boys, but I'm just haven't had the money to do it as of late. Just I've been tied up with other things, especially my most recent car maintenance. Pew.
Oh yeah, cars are expensive. Ugh.
Yeah, cars are expensive.
Yeah.
All right, so my Pokemon themed emotes, I got a lot of them because I'm a Pokemon guy. So I'll just blur them all at once, and I'll just go as I go. Demon, bad boy. These are all mine.
Oh, I love when Demon's always on stream. I try to get my furry friend to come on stream sometimes, but he's off doing his own thing half the time.
So yeah, I've gotten all of them commissioned. Some of my notable favorite ones are my Zoroark Gibble. That was like a scene from the Zoroark movie, and I just liked how it giggled, so I just had someone draw it out as a shiny and make it cute. My shiny luck emote is a Regidrago to homage my very first on-screen shiny, aka Shiny Regidrago.
I love that.
I have a lantern-themed emote themed with a sushi band around it, aka Sushi, because I fell in love with Lantern using it in a electric-only Nuzlocke I did in Shield. For you know, to represent LGBTQ community. I have a Pride Tomb.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And to pay homage to my sunglasses, I got a Alolan Vulpix slurping on some chili drink as a chill. And I got an Annihilate punching the ground just titled Monkey, because I Annihilate became my favorite fighting type, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta show us some love. My favorite emote that I have is my Obstapiers. It's a fusion between Obstagoon and Piers. I just love that. My most used emote is probably my Baby Zigzagoon biting down on a heart emote. That one's like probably my most used one. Yeah, it's really cute.
That.
Really cute.
You got a good variety of emotes there. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of them themed after dark types because, you know, I'm a dark type guy.
Naturally, of course.
Yeah, gotta represent the homeboys.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. Hey, I see what you're doing back there. Boy, messing around with my cords. Almost probably messed up something. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently, okay, we can still hear me. Okay, good. Okay, so next part of the show is the shared experiences. We're going to share some of our various Pokemon experiences and, you know, talk shop about some of our coolest Pokemon moments. Another reason why I asked you for those clips.
Yes, yes.
All right, give us a moment. Give me a moment. This will look weird. All right, so you gave me 3 clips. Let's go ahead and watch them.
Sounds good.
All right, also let me change scene here. Change screens to this. Okay, let's watch.
Yeah, so in the end credits of like whichever movie had Zarude in it, I don't remember which one, like what the name of it exactly was, but I like Kramer it because there's like one of these kinds of dances, and like that's a vibe that I can relate to. And Psyduck died. Great. Yeah, so in the end.
So, what movie were you talking about?
I was talking about oh gosh. The worst part is that Shags reminded me in my own chat of what the title of the Pokemon movie it was. I was like Secret of the Jungle.
Yeah, Secret of the Jungle.
One of the more recent Pokemon movies. It had come out on Netflix, so like I was like, all right, one night I'm gonna sit and watch it and just like do whatever. And like at the end, in the end credits, there is a little clip of a Cramorant that like he's just doing a head bob thing, kind of like dancing and whatever. And we had run into or like run past a Cramorant during stream that day, and so I just brought it up of like how I loved it. Like I somewhere on my phone have that clipped on my phone for Lord knows why, and just happened to be that at that moment Psyduck died, and like that's I think a lot of like I think the gems of my Pokemon moments are just like random things happen and I just roll with it and just like can go instantaneously from one moment of what I'm talking to another. Part of that's probably the ADHD as well, but like, so I'm like just casually, oh yeah, it's just Psyduck died. That's great.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Oh, this was actually during the Radar Showdown. I didn't know you were in there.
Yeah, this is I think my first Radar Showdown that I had done, or my like first Shiny Showdown that I had done as a content creator.
What team were you on?
I was on Team Quick, I believe, right? Was I Team Quick? Pretty sure I was Team Quick.
You were on the winning team then.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this.
Yes, guys, we got it. We got it. Holy shit. Here we go. Yes. Yes. There's our boy. Yay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. Let's catch the little bean. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. Okay, what kind of ball do we want to put it in? Let's try a luxury ball. I feel like it would look very snazzy in a luxury ball. Yes! 1, 2, 3. Yes! Let's freaking go! Clip that. Heck yeah. Yes! Thank you, Kevin! Yes, we gotta name him. Yes!
I forgot that. I actually forgot that Spoink's shiny was a black pearl. Again, another shiny that makes sense.
Yeah, I think actually, I think I named that one Pearl because of the black pearl. I also find it ironic in that clip that I was like, "There's our boy," and it ended up being a female, but whatever. Not the point.
Well, congrats on getting to a 40 chain on there. But
Thank you.
I was in the full odds. I was in the radar showdown too, and I got a full odds shiny patch.
Oh, I think during this, and I don't remember if I clipped it because I was trying to find that clip that I was going to submit that one instead of this one if I had clipped it. I think one of ours was also a full odds, or at least it was not labeled as a shiny patch, and I ran into it and it was shiny anyways, so don't know if it was technically full odds at that point or not, but...
Well, that would technically be like a full odds shiny as a Pokemon, where like there's a difference between full odds shiny patch and a full odds shiny in a patch. Because if the patch is sparkling, then it's called a shiny patch. If the Pokemon is shiny but the patch wasn't sparkling, then it's actually just like a 1 in whatever odds shiny that you were in the radar chain.
Yeah, that's, I think during this hunt I found one that was in a plain old patch, not shiny patch, and it was shiny, but I don't think it was, I think it was far enough in my chain that it wasn't technically full odds yet or anymore.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even on a chain of 1, so it was a full odds shiny patch.
Oh well.
Okay, this is actually from Mystery Dungeon, so let's see what you got here.
I wanted to mix it up. We're gonna walk in here, and it's gonna be a monster house, and we're gonna die because we have 1 belly point left. I don't know what it's technically even called. Look what I called! It's a freaking monster house! Wow! Who would have thought? We're gonna walk in here, and it's gonna be a...
It's always a fun time whenever you call something that's gonna suck and then bam, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't my first time playing a Mystery Dungeon game, and seeing that going into it, I'm like, oh, I can see on the mini-map that there's like 3 or 4 items in there. That's usually like lure for mystery, or a monster house, and I'm like, of course, with my luck, where I'm like, my belly's empty, I have no apples to eat, I'm gonna lose this run anyways, let's just end it quickly with a freaking monster house, and it was just one of those things. I'm like, let's turn this into a comical moment rather than being like all upset and like butthurt about it. So what would that reaction instead?
Well, at least you went in there with a good attitude.
I tried.
So this was that XD thing that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So just to add context, I forgot this. To add context, I forgot who Mirror B was. So let's add that. Just add context. Minor B. This guy was a thing. I forgot this guy was a thing. There's a lot about XD that just made me die laughing. That guy was the one thing that got me out of my chair. Just I couldn't take it.
I love it. That is so funny.
Oh god, that was fun. Oh, and yeah, like if like you can see my team in the layout there. If I knew that I could have gotten an Ampharos, I probably would have went with like Espeon as my evolution, because the only other good Pokemon was Gardevoir, and I didn't know if I wanted to use a waifu.
Fair, yeah, I understand that.
All right, you have to look very carefully at the very like 0.1 second of this clip, because it defines the whole logic.
Okay.
Oh, what the crap? Guys! Shiny Dratini! Guys, it's a shiny Dratini! What the shit? Are you kidding me right now? Oh man, I didn't want this to happen. I don't know what to do. Oh man, I didn't want this to happen. I don't know what. Like, I couldn't even react properly, and I genuinely didn't know what to do at that point, because my rule for the run was I couldn't catch any shiny that wasn't my target, and the freaking a 4% shiny Dratini pops up on my screen. I'm like, what the hell?
Go figure, right? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I was going for Magikarp, because my team, that was going to be my final teammate, a Gyarados. Oh, by the way, I did find that Magikarp later on, and it was a fucking modest-natured Gyarados.
Oh.
Yeah, super terrible. But yeah, I did break the chain. I did catch that Dratini. I didn't use it, but I caught it. So nobody say like, why didn't you catch it? I caught it, okay?
No shiny left behind.
Well, the only other shiny that popped up that wasn't a target was the one when I was doing the shiny hunt for Alakazam. A shiny Chansey popped up.
Fair enough. I know a lot of people who will like just ditch those.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so just to add context as to what this is, sometimes I play Neo from the Matrix. I have a whole cosplay getup and whatnot, and my theme for the gimmick is no reaction.
Oh, okay.
So just watch. Hey, shiny. Take a look. Shiny. Interesting. You caught me, like, if you caught me, like, right there, I reacted ever so slightly. And I got so much shit for the fact that I reacted ever so slightly to the shiny. Like,
Never. Like, I'm not always like super like, oh my gosh, it's a shiny, whoa, like about every shiny I find, but I'm always like, oh hey, like look at that. Like I could never just not react. I give you kudos on that.
yeah, I mean, like, most of the time, if I'm shiny hunting off screen, I won't react. But if I'm shiny hunting on screen, it's like, yo!
Yeah. It's easier to get hyped when you're on screen and on stream and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, mainly because yeah, like you're doing it to a whole audience, so it's like you. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Right.
But hey, aside from the moments you've had aside from those moments that we saw, like, are there any notable Pokemon moments you can note that you can note on as a what am I even trying to say? Are there any awesome Pokemon moments that have also happened on screen you want to talk about, or off screen? Just if you got some moments, let me know. Like, give us you got the mic.
I'll try to think of if there's something like off stream, especially where like one that I can think of like a fail moment off stream, because this is long before not long before I started content creation, but like before I started, I remember when I was trying to get the hang of actually doing the Poke Radar in BDSP, I remember getting a Chain Zero shiny patch. It would have been for a Badoo, but I was just too excited and not paying attention to where the patches were that I ended up running into one of the other patches and not going around it to get to the shiny patch. And I was so disappointed in myself that I'm like, I should have slowed down. I could have gotten it, and I didn't. And because, of course, I ran into it. I was like, that Badoo's not shiny. And I was like, oh no, I know exactly where I messed up. And I'm like, ugh, I still kick myself a little bit to this day about it. Even though it's just a shiny Badoo, I'm still like, ugh, well, I could have had it if I had slowed down.
When Reversal was hosting his radar tournament, I decided to practice. I kid you not, the very first thing that I run into as I practiced was a shiny Badoo that wasn't a shiny patch.
Oh, nice.
Chain Zero, no shiny patch, shiny Badoo. It's like, wowza.
Wow.
Any others you want to note?
Can't think of any off the top of my head, to be honest. I know I don't do like a ton of like straight up shiny hunts on stream. I definitely want to do more of those at some point. My problem is sometimes like I like to start all these projects and then I don't finish them. So like a lot of my shiny hunts I've started and then I'm like I've just never gone back to it. Like the good old Verizian campsite resets. I haven't gone back to that in forever. I did it once on stream and then never continued.
I didn't have to do that back in the do that hunt. I did mine when I got in the ultra wormholes. I did a lot of my legendary shiny hunting before becoming a Twitch streamer. So one of the most notable ones I can remember is when I was shiny hunting circuitry. I was going on and off for a while, but then one day I got home from work, I booted up my save file, or I booted up my save, and like literally first encounter of the night was a shiny circuitry, and I'm like, yes!
Oh.
Had a terrible day at work, got home, bam, I found a shiny.
Oh, that's like the best moment is like you have a yucky day, you go down to relax, and like something great happens in a game. Like, love that.
One thing I also would like to note is how Pokemon can bring people together you didn't think we could possibly bring together. So like a few days before my birthday last year, I went to a card shop and I was gonna get some cards for my birthday to open up between the next few streams. Lo and behold, there was this guy in there that was talking to one of the clerks, and we just ran, and he randomly brought up like YouTube, and he was talking about I had to do YouTube stuff, and I'm like, oh, you do YouTube? I'm like, oh, cool. So we started talking, and eventually we exchanged like each other's like handle names. So he followed me on Twitter. He followed me on Twitch, and I asked him for his name, and he said Droomish, and so I typed in his name. Turns out this guy has almost 1K 100K subscribers on YouTube. So I was like, wow, are you? Whoa, dude, congrats. I didn't no idea. I was actually sitting next to someone who almost had a silver play button, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
I've actually gone back and watched some of his videos, and they're actually really, really informative. Really, you don't normally think of this stuff, but then all of a sudden, bam, you watch this video, and I'm like, man, now I'm actually thinking about this stuff in depthly. But yeah, again, like it still just boggles me how Pokemon can bring people together, not only online but in person as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like are there any like offline Pokemon moments you can think about that are really noteworthy?
Hold on, you cut out a little bit on my end. Pokemon what?
Sorry, are there any like Pokemon moments you can think of that happen off screen that are pretty notable?
Trying to think of if that. I mean, I know that like it's not 100% it's Pokemon related. It's not a specific incident, but like I know like back when the first like wave of Pokemon card, like during the pandemic when like it was super hard to find Pokemon cards and stuff, I remember somebody recommending my local game shop. As much as I'd love to give them a shout out, I'm not going to dox myself and say their name, but if they are watching, they know who they are. Um, and like I just stopped in there one time hoping to find some Pokemon cards, and like they actually had them and weren't charging like ridiculously like high prices like some of the like other shops tended to and stuff. So I just kept going back to them, and I go literally every Monday, and like because of me looking for Pokemon cards, I've made friends with all the staff there. There's like other regulars who go there that I've also made friends with that I'm like, oh, hey, so and so. Like, I go in it. For me, it's not even just buying Pokemon cards there anymore. It's like I get to go see my friends by going to that shop and stuff. And it all sprouted from going and looking for Pokemon. So I'd say like that's kind of one of my like little offline moments. And I've actually started going to their Pokemon nights, and I'm hoping to try to get into playing the TCG and stuff beyond just collecting the pretty shiny cardboard.
Yeah, I need to start going to. There's a couple of card shops I can go to. Same branch of store, just different locations in the same city. But I just need to go over there and just hang out sometime and just hang out with people. Like I need to start hanging out with more people IRL. To be brutally honest, it's like one of my Achilles' heels as a Twitch streamer. Most of my friends are, well, actually all of my friends are online personalities, and like it's just like I want to hang out with people, but they're too far away. So yeah, I need some flesh and blood friends.
It's almost like I want to say like IRL friends, but the thing is the people we talk to online do exist in real life, just not in our physical space. So I'm like, I can't say IRL friends because these people are my IRL friends. They're just not physically here.
Yeah. Yeah, the misconceptions of determining friends in the world of Twitch streamers.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so last topic of the show is normally Pokemon news on what's going on in the Pokemon world that we could talk about. Like one thing I would like to note about is actually something that something that I just started doing the other day. Is that Pokemon is officially ending their partnership with the Mega Brick brand, and they're officially partnering with Lego. So I don't know if that's something that interests you, but what kind of like figurines would you like to see come out of Pokemon and Lego's partnership?
I mean, hands down, obvious a Psyduck, of course. But like that's the two obvious answers. So I guess I'd have to come up with something. Well, not have to, but want to come up with something a little more different. Cause like the Mega Blocks, I forget the 100% exact name of it. Is it just Mega Blocks?
Yeah, it's just Mega.
Okay, just Mega. Cause I have some of their sets. I actually have the Eevee that I still have to finish. That'll be an on-stream thing. I'll do someday. I don't know.
Yeah, I got the Gyarados' tail sitting in my nerd cabinet. I did the Tyranitar.
Ooh, that's a solid one. I haven't seen that one.
And I have the Mini Charizard.
Ooh, I like that one. Like, I'll be curious, like, I'm hoping that they go a direction, like, where obviously they'll have some, like, like, they're gonna definitely target the younger audience, like they do with, like, the Lego Star Wars and, like, like the, I don't know, like Lego Sonic or Lego Mario, like, those tend to target a younger audience, but I'm hoping that knowing that their audience base is going to be a wide variety of, you're gonna have your kids who like Legos and Pokemon, but you also have your adults because they recognize they've had all these adult sets. I mean, for goodness sake, Tim just like a handful of months ago bought the Eiffel Tower and built Eiffel Tower in his bedroom. Like that's like 10,000 pieces or whatever. But I'm hoping that they recognize that part about their audience and choose to do some more intricate things, like I don't know, so like make some scenes from like some iconic Pokemon moments, like from some of the movies or some of the games, and like choose to make more intricate sets like that. beyond just the basic, like, I'll enjoy all the sets, don't get me wrong, but I would love to see some more intricate sets from them with Pokemon scenes.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I would love to see like more like sets like this Gyarados set that you can actually have moving parts in it. So I'd like to see more sets that have like movable parts. But actually, I don't know if Mega made this set, but I would like to see a whole evolution line Lego set. Like there's one platform and it has every single evolution on it. I would like to see that. There's gonna be a Pikachu one, obviously, because you know.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
But
They
like,
did see. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Mega did do an evolution set where they like did a little like mini like an Eevee and all the evolutions, but I don't know if it came with anything to put them all together. Or it was just like, all right, here you go. Here's like what 9 separate sets of blocks, and you can build them all. I think they just did that, and it wasn't like super intricate or anything like to really put them together as a set. So Lego could definitely play off of that and do something more with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually love to see like the most biased answer for me to say would probably be Obstagoon, of course. But
Yeah.
to be fair, I would actually like to see, a set with Darkrai. I would like to see a Darkrai set.
They could do a lot of that, even if they like made a whole like collection of various different regions of legendaries and mythicals and stuff. They could definitely do something fun with that.
Yep, they could definitely do something fun with that, and there are definitely a lot of people that would pay for it too.
Oh yeah. I know. I'm gonna have to go into this whole idea of Lego Pokemon very selectively on which sets I get because I don't have a lot of space and the money.
I mean, I just got gifted this Gyarados, and I have no idea where I'm gonna put it when it's done because I just got the tail sitting up in my nerd cabinet up there. But like, I don't know where I'm gonna put. I don't know where to put the whole thing. I don't know. I have to like probably reorganize the entire cabinet just to make it fit. I don't know.
Right. I mean, like, I have like very limited space on my shelves around here that like I don't have a lot of room for a lot more collectibles.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a shelf and like put it like put it somewhere on my wall over here. But I might move soon, so it's like I don't know. I don't know about that. But the other big piece of news that's that's more relevant than most anything is back on Pokemon Day we finally got a trailer for Legend ZA. So my question to you is, what are you looking forward to the most with the new Legends game that's coming out?
I think for me, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of storyline we're gonna get. Like, we have a basic gist of okay, yeah, they're Lumio City is going to be like there's got this whole new project going on for the like or I forget what they called it, like not renovation, but like the revamping of it, if you will. But I'm curious, like, what else is gonna lie underneath it? Like, who are our bad guys gonna be, and what kind of conflicts are we gonna run into? Because it's not, yeah, the trailer makes it look all happy-go-lucky, rainbows, sunshine, unicorns, and glitter, but like, there's something going on. There's gotta be, and I'm itching to know what that's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I know Zygarde's going to be in the game, but I'm just wondering, how does Zygarde come into play in this game, because we know pretty much everything there is to know about Zygarde. So like are they going to do something new with Zygarde, or is it just going to be the same thing with Zygarde? One thing I'm going to honestly one thing I'm going to look forward to the most is going around and hunting Zygarde cells. I'm actually going to look forward to that.
Kind of like the little like things for Spiritomb and Arceus.
Yeah, I mean, the Zygarde cells were fun in the Sun and Moon and Ultra games as well. Or no, just in the Sun and Moon games. The Ultra games didn't do the Zygarde cells, but yeah, like Joe Maverick was saying how he's gonna have a lot of fun mapping out the Zygarde cells. So
Oh yeah.
so yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how long it takes him to map them all out. But one thing I'm actually looking forward to the most is probably the new battle styles we got, because if the Pokemon, oh sorry, Merrick, not Maverick, sorry, sorry, brainstem got brain wires got crossed, my bad.
It's all good.
But anyway, because the way the battle style is looking, if the Pokemon move with you, there's a lot you can do. Because like in Legends EA, in Legends Arceus, if you moved, the Pokemon just stayed stationary and it wouldn't move with you. If the Pokemon moves with you in battle, then you guys like you can genuinely dodge attacks and like you can really like it's probably going to be one of the most interesting battle styles we have seen thus far in Pokemon, and I'm all for it. I'm all for learning a new battle style.
I'll admit I'm a little skeptical. I am also a creature of habit where like when things change, I'm very nervous about it. I'm trying to keep an open mind with it before I judge it too hardcore. And I think it's going to be one of those things once I play it and I'm in the moment, I'm going to be like, oh, why was I worried about this? But I am a little nervous about it, even though it looks cool.
Yeah. But do you have any predictions on like the starters? What their megas or their new Colossian forms are going to be? Because we don't know if we're getting megas or Colossian forms for them. We don't know yet.
Right. I mean, I'm hoping they follow the same kind of like gist of with Arceus where like we get a form for like we get a Colossian form for the new starters and stuff, and then maybe like megas for the originals since we didn't get megas for the originals in the Kalos region.
Mm-hmm.
As for their typing, funny enough, me and my friends were talking about this while we were walking around for Totodile Community Day yesterday. I mean, I feel like it'd be silly to say that Meganium's not going to become fairy based on that little thing where we saw the fairy type move. Granted, that could be a jump for a lot of people, and we're just all kind of assuming because it's an easy assumption to make. But we were talking about like how it would be cool if Totodile became a water steel type for a Colossian form of for alligator, and then for Tepig, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'd want to see for Tepig. What like a cool combo would be. Maybe like I don't know, maybe like a fire ghost one would be kind of cool. Or like if they could somehow do like a fire electric maybe. I don't think they've ever have they ever paired fire and electric before?
Fire electric. I believe that's Rotom Heat.
But not like an actual Mon yet. So that would be a cool first if we got like a fire electric type instead of it becoming firefighting.
Well, well, well. I actually think that Feraligatr might become water poison because Feraligatr would probably be like more like in line with the creatures in the sewers, or sewers, or in the catacombs, and Tepig would wind up becoming fire steel because cooking.
Good point. I like those ideas too.
Yeah. Okay, so last portion of the show, well, the very last thing we get to talk about is like, I want to know if you have any future plans or goals for content creation as of right now between like now and the end of the year or even past that. So, what are some things that KelsDDuckyy has in store for us?
Definitely nothing like super big. I'll admit for me, like as much as I would freaking love to become like full-time content creator and make it a career type of thing, it's not like my first and foremost goal. I definitely have a goal of continuing my study stream schedule. It's not like like I kind of do a rotating schedule where like, all right, this week I do Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, and then next week I'll do Tuesday, Thursday to try to reach out to a variety of people who might not be able to attend my streams on a like particular day kind of schedule. Um, I see Shags in chat finishing a game on stream. Yeah, I definitely want to become more focused on finishing games on stream for sure, rather than just like pick up a million and one projects and never finish any of them. Continuing that steady stream schedule as I've been doing, because I've definitely seen a lot of growth in our community since I started doing that, rather than just the sporadic streams here and there type of thing. And I think another fun goal would be to like kind of back on that emote discussion we had earlier is like try to make my own emotes, because like I have one of those like digital drawing tablets and I like to draw on pen and paper. So maybe kind of try to take that and hone that to make some new emotes at some point. Not sure when, but at some point in the future.
Hey, pretty solid goals to have, and definitely just it's all about the grind on getting like for me as an autistic guy. I really like to keep a dead set schedule. Whenever I'm creating content, whenever I go off schedule, that's when it starts affecting my mental state. So one thing I will like to say, I want to try and stay on my normal schedule plan going forward. Like I normally stream Tuesdays and Thursdays during nights, and I'm normally live in the afternoons on the weekends. So I want to try and stick with that, and just keep rolling and keep doing what I'm doing. One thing that I definitely want to do is finish up. Even though we're a quarter into the year. I still have 3 other challenge runs. I want to start and complete my Soul Silver Dark Lock. I want to do another run on my Platinum Randomizer, and I want to do my a Soul Link that I was gonna do with a friend, fellow Team Yell member of mine, and just do that. And I just really want to try to outside of content creation, I really just want to keep working on my mental health, because even though I'm doing a lot better than I did last year, my mental health's still going in these waves of I'm having good days and bad days and whatnot. I want to try and make more good days over bad days, and I really want to work on my social skills and just stuff like that, just to try to be the best man I could possibly be for the people that care about me,
I 100% respect that. I've also gone through my own mental health struggles over the years. And honestly, realizing that that's something you want to work on, I highly applaud. And I think that's so important. And that I am very grateful we're living in a world that mental health is becoming more of a forefront of an issue, in the sense of people are actually aware of it, recognizing it, acknowledging it. And so I give you mad props for acknowledging that about yourself and being willing to work on it. Because I'm also one of those people that I'm yep, I got to work on that too. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
I appreciate that, Kels.
Of course.
Let's get mental health. Something that you work on relentlessly.
It's never a finished project at all.
Nope. All right. So, final thing that I'm going to request of you. Who are we rating?
Oh, yes, I knew you were going to ask that at some point.
Yeah, the policy is the guest chooses the raid, so where are we going?
Let's see. I'm going to see who are in my, following that's live. Let's see. Who do we...
Doesn't matter what they're playing, as long as you want to rate them, we can rate them.
Let's see. There's some options in here. Let's... Alright, I got an idea. Let's raid my friend Mike, my170. He's looks like he's playing some Wario Land right now. He's a good friend of my community.
Okay.
Friend that actually I met at PAX a couple years ago. So let's go show him some raid love. I'm cool with that.
Put his name in chat so I can copy and paste.
Yeah, of course. My170.
Yep, Wario Land.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so members of the pokeNERDS community, if you are subscribed to the Poké Network, the Poké Network Twitch channel, you can use this raid message. If you are not subscribed to my channel, you can use this raid message. I'll give you all a moment to copy and paste that, and we can go raid my170. So, do you have a normal outro that you normally like to say? Do you normally have a little saying say at the end of stream to send off the party, send off the fray?
I don't actually. I just kind of awkwardly ramble while the little timer thing on the raid is going to 0. I used to literally wait till it went to 0. I've more recently now been all right, we hit the raid button now because I have nothing else to say. So no, I don't.
Well, in that case, when I usually end the stream, I like to say I want to thank y'all for choosing the back alley as your place to hang out tonight. Stay safe, stay strong. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, you nerds. But in honor of the True Turbo, I like to end every podcast by saying, stay safe, stay rockin', stay true to yourself. From all of us here at pokeNERDS Inc., we thank you again for tuning in to yet another podcast, and I will see you guys in a couple more weeks for yet another episode of pokeNERDS Inc. But for now, we must say goodbye. So, from all of us here at pokeNERDS Inc., bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.